So now that we have our collision object, we are going to start to mine or collect all these section and floor plan from the model, okay, and then export them into AutoCAD. If you have not done so, please save your file as some name. So file, save, or save as, and get it as collision something, I don't know, collision building or whatever. Okay, I'm going to get rid of some of these guidelines, and that's alright right there. Get rid of that one too. And now we have a clean object that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces in it, right? Okay, if I look at the clipping plane is this thing right in the tool palette. In the clipping plane, if I activate the clipping plane, if you don't have this stuff, you could hit the plus button right there, and it'll add a new clipping plane. And if you look at this thing all throughout, you will see that it is a bunch of separate pieces, all, well, basically they're all separate pieces. You could tell because we have this piece right here, and then if we push this back, we have this piece over here. Whoops. We have this piece over here as well as this piece over here. What we're going to do is to combine the three pieces, okay? So let me get rid of this clipping plane and turn the visibility of it off. Clipping plane is under the tool palette, and if you scroll all the way down, it should say clipping plane. Okay. Open that up. If it's not opening, then you might have to expand it. Okay. So we're going to turn these three pieces into one Boolean solid. So we go to the Modify Union tool. Okay. Modify Union. That's this thing that looks like a little, I don't know what the hell it looks like. And then we click on the first object, and then we click on the second object. And that, when we try to hover over it, we have one object right there. We'll do the same process, do the Modify Union, and then select the previous object that we selected and the third piece. Okay, and when you hover over that, that tells me that it's one solid glued together piece. And if we select the clipping plane again and move through it, whoops, we move through it, we see that it is now one solid piece. There's no lines in between, right? Okay, so that's what we want to see. Okay. So after we have this piece union, we're going to thicken the wall so that right now, as we saw it in the clipping plane, it is one solid blob of a piece. So we're going to go to this tool right here, Derive, Thicken. And when we click on this tool, notice that our tool palette, you can set the thickness of the thickness of the new plane that we're making, which is going to be 9 inches. And we're going to set it in. Okay, so after we set these two as in and 9 inches, we will click on the three object that, or the same object that we have, and that turned a little bit of a different color. That means that it should have been successful in making that, hollowing that stuff out. Okay, so to check, we'll go back to the clipping plane, make it visible, and hover through it, and yes, it looks like it is a hollowed out piece. Okay, so it looks all right. So what we're going to do is to cut several section in these in this model that we have here. We're going to set it up so that we're about 3 feet in. Wait a minute. Yeah, 4 feet in from the front. If you want, you can go to the guidelines and actually put a guideline. Move the guideline so that it is at around 3 feet. 3 feet in. 4 feet in. Damn it. I cussed on screen again. And I do it again. Okay, so 4 feet. And if I move this clipping plane to about that location, let me zoom in. Close enough. So I have this clipping plane at 4 feet. Alright. And I can take this clipping plane that I have and rename it by double clicking on the, come on, rename. Do you want it 4 feet from the fin or from the cube? 4 feet from the cube would be fine. And name it clipping plane A1. Okay. So after we get this clipping plane and name it A1, let me move this towards the center. What we're going to do is to make another clipping plane somewhere around here. So that'll be, what, 14 feet in, which is probably going to be about, what, 14 feet in, so about 4 feet in from the face of this guy. Okay, so let's turn off the visibility, or turn off the clipping plane A1, and go to the plus symbol for the clipping plane, and add another clipping plane, new clipping plane. Mine turned in upside down, damn it. So what I'll need to do is to turn this guy over 90 degrees. Okay, and then I want to go about 4 feet in here, so I'm going to make a little guideline tool and move that line over 4 feet. Okay, and then move the clipping plane so that it is the section is cut right about where that guideline is. Okay, so now I have a section that looks kind of like that, which is, I guess, kind of cool. Okay, and then the last one, I will take a clipping plane back here. So I will turn the visibility of this guy off. Oh, before we mess with that, I want to rename this clipping plane into A2. So basically this A2 is telling me it's just like how we have several sections in the A direction, so it's going to be section A1, A2, A3. Okay, so there we have 2 sections. We're going to turn those off, and then we'll make another clipping plane. Oh. And I want this one to go to, let's see, I guess what would be interesting is if we see all of the three volumes together. So let's go somewhere around here, which should be about what? About maybe 4 feet away from, 6 feet away from this back edge. Okay, so get it so that we see this whole section that's that has a shape.
You don't want to put 14.
That was our So altogether we'll have like 4 sections, I think. Okay, and we'll rename this plane A3. Alright, and then we'll turn that guy off, and then we will add another clipping plane and move that back to about, well, let's get both of those, both this guy and this guy on there. Okay, and I think that is also about 6 feet in. Let me measure it and find out. Actually, it's more like 4 foot. Okay, 4 foot in from the back. Okay, so we'll rename this clipping plane as A4. A4, okay. Let me get rid of some of this temporary guidelines that I made. And so from here we should be able to toggle the clipping planes as we need them. Okay, so we have toggle A1, 2, yep. So we have all the clipping planes that we'll take for now. Okay,